I'm going to try something new this time as Liverpool host Forest at home at Anfield. What I'm going to do this time, normally what I do is I try to predict what Arne Slot's going to do with his starting 11. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to say what I would do if I were Arne Slot in this starting 11, because I do think that the problem has been Arne Slot does watch my show, and I think he takes a lot of pointers from my show. And so I'm just going to do it like I would do it. And I think this is going to solve a lot of problems. So this is going to be interesting. All right. First and foremost, Alisson Becker's coming back. I think he's healthy. I think he deserves to come right back into this team. We need that leadership at the back. And I want to see the Brazilian come back into this team. And I think Mamardashvili's done a good job, but we got to get the GOAT back in between the sticks. And so Alisson Becker at the back. And then, of course, it's El Capitan, Virgil van Dijk, alongside of Ibrahima Konate. The two, they've been playing. That's what I'll say. They've been playing the games. All right, Connor Bradley in at right back. I do think Jeremie Frimpong is back and healthy, but Connor Bradley, I think, is here for now. I don't think Arne Slot's just going to throw Jeremie Frimpong back into the mix that quickly. And then the World Cup qualifier, Andy Robertson, has to start at left back. I think this guy's been really good. I think he's shown a lot of leadership. And I've been saying it for weeks. I just can't see Milos Kerkez starting an important match for Liverpool right now. I think there's a lot he needs to work on. And I want to see Robbo in at that left back position. I'm not super crazy about this back line. Obviously, having Alisson Becker back is really good for the team. But man, I think having a solid Kerkez and a solid Frimpong in this team is what we were all hoping for at the beginning of the season. And that has not panned out at all. So it'll be Robbo and Bradley, and I'm okay with that. Against Forest, I'm okay with that. All right, who is in the midfield? It's going to be Alexis McAllister alongside of Ryan Gravenberch. These two, they have to continue building back that chemistry that they had last season as probably the two best midfielders in the Premier League. So I need to see McAllister in against Forest with Gravenberch. And I got to say, if this doesn't happen, I'll be very concerned. Now, McAllister has not had the greatest season. I understand that. But we've seen flashes in the last couple weeks before the international break. And we need to continue to build on that. That's one guy where I'm like, okay, if he's not in form, we need to play him into form. And I've been saying that for several weeks now. So I want to see Alexis McAllister in there. And I want to see, of course, Ryan Gravenberch as well. And then it's Liverpool's numero uno this season. It's Dominik Szoboszlai. Heartbreak, of course, over the international break as Hungary lost out to qualifying for the World Cup against Ireland. Just an incredible finish. But a heartbreaking moment for Dominik Szoboszlai and, of course, Milos Kerkez, as they will miss the 2026 World Cup. So why am I putting Szoboszlai in here? Well, I think he's going to have a point to prove the rest of the season. I want that energy directed towards our opponents. And I want to see Dominik Szoboszlai, who's been in just incredible form for Liverpool this season. I want to see him in every chance we get, because I think he's got a lot to prove. And want to see that engine starting in that 8 to 10 role where he can just run around and just do what he does. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, guys. I'm starting Florian Wirtz on the left wing. Again, I have said this many times. Florian Wirtz is not the problem with Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz's problem is the rest of his team, who are not yet in sync with him. And I'm saying that intentionally. And it's not that Florian Wirtz is not in sync with his team. It's that his team is not in sync with him, because he is making incredible runs. He is putting himself in excellent positions. He's putting the ball in excellent positions for his teammates, who are not able to finish what he is serving up. And so Florian Wirtz needs to be in, specifically on that left wing. I think that's where he shines really brightly for this team in this system. So I want to see that Florian Wirtz on the left wing. And then opposite of him, guys, get this. Federico Chiesa, let's go. He intentionally stayed back from international duty to train and get up to 100% fitness with Liverpool. And that is why I think Federico Chiesa must start in this match against Forest. Listen, he is the press breaker. He is the low block breaker. Federico Chiesa can do things that maybe no one else in this team can. He's a clinical finisher. He's excellent in the first touch. He's very controlled. And I think he will have the ability to be a connector with Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz. And then, of course, our striker. But, guys, can you imagine this attack? Florian Wirtz opposite Federico Chiesa. Two very, very good players. And I get it. Like, Mo Salah played well for Egypt in the international break. It's just time to try something new. And I really, really hope, Arne Slot, as you're watching this, I hope you're understanding where I'm coming from. But Federico Chiesa on that right wing, I think, would give us so much more possession, so much more controlled in the attack. And I think Wirtz and Chiesa would serve so well the ball up to Ekitike in the middle, who I think is critical against a team like Forest. They will be packing it in as much as possible. There will be a low block. They will be playing. I am more nervous for this game than I was against Madrid and Liverpool and Villa, because those three teams were not going to play us like Brentford play us or like Crystal Palace played us, where they're just going to sit back, wait for some long throw-ins, wait for some set pieces, try to hit us on the counter. That's what Forest is going to do. That's their game. And so this is going to be interesting because we didn't play well against City, played very well against Madrid, played decently well against Villa. But this is a team that this season we've really struggled against teams like Forest. So that's why I want Chiesa in there. That's why I want Wirtz on the left wing. Those two guys can do things against a low block team that we're just going to have. And Ekitike is the guy to finish, I think, if he's given opportunities. Now, I think Isak is somewhat back. He played for Sweden in the international break. Who else is back? Frimpong is back, so maybe we see him a little bit on the right wing or coming in for Bradley at right back. I think Leone might be our only injured player at the moment, which is great. It's great news. We've got talent coming back. But this is what I want, guys. This is what I want to see. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. It's a little crazy, I understand, but again, I know Arne Slot, you're watching this is what you should do, okay? So, just go ahead and do it. All right, here's my score prediction. I'm going 0 goals for Forest. That's going to be a 0 line for them. And I think Liverpool, unfortunately for Forest, are going to score 3. I think it's a 3-0 victory for Liverpool at Anfield. I think that's the only acceptable result. This should not be a close game against a team that has really, really been struggling in the Premier League this season. They are split between Europa League and the Premier League, and with just 9 points in 11 matches, this is a match at home at Anfield. Liverpool must be winning by a decided scoreline like this. So get your comments in below. I'd love to know what you think. As always, the Reds.